Hello everyone, Caroline here. Okay, can you see my pumpkin here? I'm going to show you how I make this pumpkin. It's crochet, but it does make for a lovely decoration at Halloween and autumn. All through autumn, it's nice. So this is gonna show you how I'm doing it. As you can see with this wool, it has all the beautiful colours of what a pumpkin is. And what I've used is the Woolcraft Pebble Chunky 200 gram. The shade is called 8042. So you may be able to find that. The dye lot I got was 1733. So I got quite a few of them and I had, you know, similar shades. But if you go on to Google and you know, turn up Woolcraft Pebble Chunky 200 gram and do the shade 8042, it may come up as that. Other than that, there isn't an actual name for the colour. They're based in Bradford, Woolcraft. So you could always get onto them and email them. And I'll put a link for that. I'll put a link for Woolcraft. But I got this off my local market. I live in Bury, Lancashire. And we have a world famous market here called Bury Market. And people come from all over the country to visit Bury Market. It's quite a tourist place. It's incredible what they have there. So that's it. I'm going to start now. So I've got one that's partly open, and when you're doing your pumpkins, you can decide how big you want them by how many chains you do. I'm going to show you the one I'm going to do now, which is possibly slightly smaller than that, and I'll just make a chain. That's how I do my chain. I know there are other ways of doing chains, but you find your own level when it comes to crochet of, you know, how you do things. So, you know, there's no crochet police out there that says, oh, you should do it this way, you should do it that way. Do what you're comfortable with. And if you're new to crochet, this is brilliant for beginners. It's so easy to do for beginners. And all you do is, once you've got that first chain, you just go through and do another chain. So that's 1, 2, 3, under and over, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Now my length will be 25 chains. So you then do 1 extra. So however many you want to do, always do 1 extra, because when you go in then to the second chain from hook, that's your hook, this is your first chain, that's your second chain, and you just want to do 1 single crochet in that second chain from hook. So that takes up that extra 1. So as you go along then with the rest of your chains, just single crochet along. This is chunky yarn, so, you know, if you can't get this yarn, just a nice orange, some do them in like a cream colour and other different colours, but true pumpkin is orange, isn't it? So just single crochet right across. Sorry if I look a bit shaky today, but it is what it is. But I wanted to show you guys just how easy this is. So you just single crochet. I'm not a fast crochet. I mean, some really do speed along, and I probably was faster when I was younger, but these days not quite as fast. But this is a lovely thing to make. And like I say, any beginner can do this. If you can learn to just make a chain like this and go back along with single crochets until you've got that right, you're well away with crochet. People hold theirs different as well. I hold mine with my finger and my thumb, and I have my wool through like that. So that's how I get my tension. Like I say, everybody's different. They do it differently. But do what is comfortable for you and what you feel you're happy with. Let's get some wool off there. And that's the final one there. There's no more left because that's your knot at the end. Now when you get to the end, you're going to chain one and you're going to turn. And we're going to work in what's called back loop only. And that means when you loop down on your chains there, you've got this that's the front loop here and you've got the back loop there. Now as you're going down, you're not going into to this one. You're going to go into that one there because that's your next stitch, and you're going to go along. So just be mindful of which one you go into. So back loops only, and that's what makes the ridges, because every time you turn you're going to just keep working in that back loop only. That's how easy it is. So I'll just take you along. So carrying on in the back loop. It's so relaxing, is crochet. You know, you can sit and watch TV at night, and on a rainy day when you can't go out, or just when you're relaxing. Even if you don't want to watch TV, it's something nice to do, isn't it? So we're coming up to the end here, and this here is my number 24 here. And then the one very important thing you have to remember is that was your chain one. So you have to go into that side one there and do that one. Then chain one again. And again, you're not going into that one, you're going into the next one. And you're going to work along like that. All along. Until you get to the other end, and don't forget, you need to go into that side one. You'll have your last loop, and then you go into the side one. So that's how you keep going. And I'll measure that, and I'll tell you what that measures. Well, I'll show you the piece I've done. Let me just take that out. This is the piece I've done. I've already worked it, and I'll measure that for you, then you'll know what width that is. That's measuring 7 inches across. And as you can see with these nice straight edges, that's because I've done it in the right one when you turn. not the first loop you see, but the second one. And when you get to the end, do it in that side one that I showed you. And when I do my pumpkins, because I've done 25 stitches, I double that to 50. So that's going to be 50 rows. And you can count, because when you see these ridges, that means you've done 2 rows. So you've got your original one that you did your chain with. Then you can count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50. So that's 50 rows. And now we're going to sew it together. So just get your thread needle. It's not like a normal needle. They are embroidery needles. You know, crochet needle. You'll soon find one of those. And you're just going to get the end there, and you're going to just loop it round like that. I'm going to sew up the side. I see a lot on the crochet groups I'm on, that people come on and say, I just cannot get a straight edge, and it goes off at an angle, and can't get a straight edge for my blankets. Well, if you follow what I say, that you go into the same stitch when you turn, and you go into that side stitch at the end, you'll never go wrong. But one thing you can do is maybe every 2 or 3 rows, count your stitches to make sure that you're still on your 25 or however many you've done, and that's your guide. And I, you know, I've been crocheting for since I was a girl, so that's a lot of years ago. So even I still count. So I don't think we're ever overconfident with what we've done, and then you sort of look at your work and think, oh, I've gone wrong somewhere. But if you follow that guide, you won't go far wrong. And don't be afraid to pull it back if you have gone a little bit wrong, because at the end of the day, you want it straight. Pulling it back, they call it frogging. I don't know why they call it frogging, so maybe somebody can tell me that. Whoever came up with that name, I don't know. But I just say pull it back. Don't worry about that. So that's going to be tucked in. This design that is with the ridges, back loop only, is really brilliant for making hats as well. So you can just go as long as you need for adult or child, and as you can see when you turn it up, that makes for a lovely hat. Can you see? So you could do a pumpkin hat. I've done that before now for children. So right, once you get to the top there, you're just going to go in and out of the top there. In and out of those stitches that are up there. Because you're going to pull that together. And if you're one that enjoys making wreaths for autumn, or, you know, Christmas or whenever, for the autumn one, you could do the tiny little pumpkins like this. but in a DK, a double knitting wool, worsted wool, whatever you call it in wherever you live. But the thinner the yarn, you know, the smaller the pumpkin. And however many chains you do. I've done little ones like that before, and they are cute, and you can pop them on your wreaths, so that's nice. So we're nearly round. As you can see, that middle bit's coming together, isn't it? Can you see? So then you pull that as tight as you can. And then we're going to sew that together. Like that. If you enjoy crochet, you know, leave us a message below and let me know what you make. And if you've made one of these off my my tutorial, I do like to hear from you. There we are. So I'm just going to finish that off now and knot that. That's it. That was tough. Okay. I'll just cut that. And then I'm going to turn that inside out, and you can see the other side of it there. Can you see? So what I was saying about making a hat. You know, if you make it longer, it makes for a really good hat. So the other, what we need to do now is we need to stuff this. You can get the hollow fibre fills. What I've got is I bought a load of cheap cushion fillers, and I've used the stuff from that. You see, so that's sometimes cheaper than getting the other filler stuff that you buy. So, you know, check out people selling cushion fillers. In the UK, we had a shop called Woolcraft, and they used to sell them as well. And I think they were like £1.50 each, something like that. Just because they were, you know, just cheap cushion fillers. But sometimes when you go for the toy filling, it can be quite expensive. So there's a tip for you. Cushion fillers. So with the thing I had left, I'm just going to go in there, and I'm just going to put that in there. Go back on myself, just make sure it's secure. And I'm just going to go in and out of there. I made this full one with the 50 rows, just of an evening, sat watching TV. So, and if you're you know, crochet a little bit faster, you may be able to do it faster. So one of these can be done in you know, well within a day, maybe a couple a day. And if you do craft fairs, you know, people do love these. I made them for friends and family, and they've really loved them. Especially if they don't crochet or knit. So we're nearly back to where we started. I'm going to pull that tight as we can, like that. We're going to sew that together. Sorry, I'm a bit shaky today. I have arthritis, and sometimes the pill that I take for the pain has caffeine in, and that makes me a little bit shaky. But that's all it is. But I'm fine. We don't let a little bit of pain stop us having fun, do we? No, no, it can't rule your life. It cannot rule your life. Just take the nice pills and get on with it. One of these days they might just find a cure. Right, now, okay, so that's sealed that up, and that's sealed up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create that you know, pumpkin look, and by that we're going to push this needle right through the middle here, right through to the other side. You see it come through there, and then we're going to pull that tight, and we're going to push that right back to the other side. Again, just knot it if you can. Where you've pulled it through and you've got it nice and tight, just do a bit of a knot there. Just holds it, you see, and then through again to the other side. And back again. So that's about the toughest part of it, really. But can you see, it's, you know, we're getting that lovely pumpkin shape now. And you decide which end you like best. I like that one. So I'm going to knot this off, so that it doesn't go back on itself and undo. And I'll just make that disappear into it there. That can't be seen. Okay, so there we have our pumpkin, all nice. Now what we want is we want the stalk that comes out, and I've got some brown here. I've only got DK, so in the brown, so I'll just to get some of that off. It's just got shredded that bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain I'll make you loop. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 12. So when it's in there, that's how high it stands. Then I'm going to go back on it and I'm going to single crochet. I use US terms when I'm saying single crochet, double crochet, treble crochet. They're all US terms. I don't do UK terms. I do find it US terms more understandable for me, because in UK terms a single crochet is actually when you go through doing a double. So I found that a bit, I think single crochet is when you go through and you pull up once like that, or you go under once. So that seemed more logical to me. But there we are. And then I'm going to do just one in the middle there, and I'm going to go back down the other side and single crochet again. And as you can see, I'm taking that end in with me. And you see, just hoping this tutorial turns out okay for viewing. I did my fingerless gloves one and that was okay. And I'm hoping I can do some more so that you can enjoy doing, if you're doing crochet, to make a few of my projects. This is just the way I do them. And then we're going into the one at the very end there. And then I'm just going to turn it. Just going to go to the end there, do a single crochet. I'm going to turn it and I'm going to put those two together. Can you see? I've joined those two on the back, and I'm just going to slip stitch all along. I mean, if you just want to do, just a sec, slipped up there, one of Carol Ann's bloopers. Yeah, if you just want to like single crochet up and down and use it like that, you don't have to join it if you don't want. You know, just do what you're happy with. But I feel that when it's joined like this, it's more of a stalk rather than a flat piece of wool. Hopefully the next time I do a tutorial I won't be shaking. Can you see how that's more of a stalk and not as flat? So yeah, it's fiddly, but it doesn't matter, does it? You get there in the end. So that last little bit to tuck in, just to tuck in, get that last stitch. And then you can pull it through like that. Get my needle again. Just going to pull that together there at the end and put that down there. like that. And then we're going to pop that in there. So again, we're going to go right through the pumpkin, right through to the other side, and pull that right through. Can you see how it's got it nice and tight there? And then you can just knot it off here. And again, just tuck it in and hide it. That's it. Gone. And there's your stalk. Now, you can leave it with just a stalk if you wish, like that, on top. Or what you can do is you can add some leaves, like this. Add a couple of the nice leaves at the side. And I'm going to show you how I do the leaves, so that you've got, you know how to do them all. So I've got some green. I don't know which. I've had this a long time, and it's like an olivey green. But I think rather than a bright green, you know, go for a darker green. So just pop that to one side. And what we're going to do is we're going to chain 7. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And in the second chain from hook, we're going to do a single crochet, like that. And then we're going to do a double crochet in the next chain. And then a treble, which you go around twice, like that. In the next chain, go through the first 2, go through the last 3. And again, a treble in the next chain. And then a double in the next chain. And then a single crochet. Like that. Then on the opposite side, I mean that in itself makes a nice leaf, a small leaf, but you can go down the other side and do opposite side, single crochet, double crochet, treble crochet, oops, treble crochet. This makes for a wider leaf if you want, so you can go for either or. I tend to just go for the single, but this shows you how to do a big leaf. Then double crochet, sorry, and then single crochet in the very last one. And you see, so that's a wider leaf. And then when you've done that and you're at the end like that, chain 7 again. And then back again, second chain from hook, single crochet, double crochet, treble crochet, another treble, this gives your leaf its shape, and a double, and then a single in the last one here, and then in the middle there, just pop your hook in, bring it through and slip stitch like that, bring that through, and then cut off, leaving a long tail for sewing. So I haven't gone down the other side with that one, so that's a small leaf, that's a big leaf, and that shows you how they are with a small leaf and with a bigger leaf. So with the other one I did 2 small leaves. I didn't want the big one, so I'm going to sew that on now. Just push that through. By the way, that was a 3.5mm hook. I forgot to say that at the beginning. Tell I'm not used to doing crochet once. So again, you're going to push right in the middle there, right through to the other side. Like that. And then just pull that out so it's exactly as you want it. There. Once you go back up through your pumpkin, back to there. Make sure it's round by your leaves. That's it. Like that. Then if you wish, you can then just sew them down on either side if you wish, so that they're attached, or you can just leave them loose. It's entirely up to you. I like to leave mine loose. I have done one that's stitched down, I'll show you that, but I'm going back down now through the pumpkin, so they're nicely firmly attached, and we will pull that, knot that off, and again we'll push that through, like that, so it's hardly visible at the bottom, and even if there is a little bit of green, it just looks like the stalk from the other side, doesn't it? And there you have it. And there we have our lovely pumpkin with the stalk and the leaves. So that's the smaller one, and that's the bigger one. And that's how easy they are to make. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, do give us a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe if you don't already subscribe to my channel. I do all sorts of crafts on here, and I will be doing some more crochet. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now. Bye bye.